So, allez le bleu, allez, to the champion. Allez le bleu, allez, Kylian Mbappe. I'm joking, people. I know we're not signing him, but I'm dreaming. What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy Friday, people. We're there again, 24 hours until we play against Burnley. And listen, until Mbappe signs that dotted line at Real Madrid, I'm going to keep dreaming. We know it ain't happening. I'm not trying to, build up anyone's hopes. I didn't know the words, by the way, so, you have to mumble sometimes. But you know the song I'm talking about anyway, man. Just get Mbappe to the carpet. Nah, he's going Madrid, but listen. Big up to everyone locked in. Big up Callum who said listening at work. Big C, no rules. We break the rules, people. It's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday. It's Friday, people, man. Vibes. Salman said, Mbappe, I'm here. He's been saying on the member streams for a long time. Why the hell are we not in for Kylian Mbappe? And I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. And you know what? Today, Arteta, you've spoke my language. Like, we're going to talk about it, I said, listen. We might not get Kylian Mbappe, and I understand Real Madrid tax. Yeah, I get it. But I want Arsenal to be in the race, even if we're the guy, from Ecuador in lane 8 who's got no chance of beating Usain Bolt. I want to be in that race, yeah, and I hope we are in the race. I said 12 months ago, or 6, 7, 8 months ago, I said Arteta, Kylian Mbappe to Arsenal. They said I was crazy. First they call you crazy. Then they understand why you're saying it. I'm telling you, that was not a wasted question. Your question don't look silly. Look, today, everyone's running around talking about Mbappe, But listen, we know it ain't happening, but it's nice to dream, right? And I like the fact that we're involved in the conversation. I said ages ago, I just want to see Arsenal get linked with him, even if it's stupid. And the links are there, people. Listen, we're in lane 8. We're going to finish 2 or 3 seconds behind Usain Bolt. But I'm just trying to get a personal best. That's all I want, people. I want a personal best. But anyway, big up yourselves. Hope you're all well on this Friday. It's been a good 2024 so far for Arsenal, to be honest. We have been cooking. And I'm not talking about the barbecue that Edu owns. We've actually been playing proper. And, it's an interesting time because, as I said, man, I've been watching the Champions League. And I think we've got half a chance. Like, no, we're not the favourites and we haven't won the competition ever. So there's no right for me to walk around with chest saying Arsenal are going to win the Champions League because we're definitely not the favourites. We're not the best team. But I'm watching these teams in Europe and I'm not scared of them. I'm not. I've always said I'm not scared of the opposition. I'm scared of Arsenal. Arsenal scare me because I know at any given moment we can go crazy. And we do go crazy over the years. And that's the problem. I look at Bayern Munich, nothing special. Kane's brought the Tottenham loser mentality with him. I watched Real Madrid the other night, no striker, couple centre-backs injured. I think they can be got at. Of course they got quality and they can beat you on any given night, but we shouldn't be running scared of them. Man City are Man City. We know what Man City are. They're crazy, but we've beat them this season. Little bit of luck. We can make it through the night. I think DJ Luck and MC Neat said that. With a little bit of luck, we can make it through the night. You know what I mean? That's all we need, a little bit of luck. Yeah, you're right. I'm scared of 29 and 14 more than I'm scared of the opposition. Do you know what I mean? Havertz, 29, can you do some for me? And number 14, we should have retired it. It's crazy. You don't give Michael Jordan's number to someone else, do you? You just end it because in reality, it's going to get no better from that point. Why the hell did we continue with the number 14 shirt? The number 14 shirt should have gone when Thierry Henry left this football club. I mean, it was Theo Walcott and I was like, you know what? You're not doing it justice, but at least you're banging goals in, right? Then it went like, then we ended up with Aubameyang. He restored it a little bit, but still, you wasn't Thierry, but at least you was winning us trophies or FA Cups. Then it ends up in Eddie Nketiah's hands. You're like, what the hell is going on here? Just retire the damn number. Do you know what I mean? You don't give Michael Jordan's number to Patrick Beverley. Just end the stream day. 14 should have never been worn again at Arsenal. Hang it up in the stadium and lock it off. But anyway, we are where we are. Eddie Nketiah. Apparently your defence is in trouble when Eddie's in the room. Yeah, not too sure about that one. Even Walcott disappointed the shirt. He did, but at least he banged goals. But, you know, I went to a lot of games when Walcott was at Arsenal, man. He got me very, very angry watching him play football. But he did produce a decent goal record. Anyway, lots to talk about. Big up to everyone. Big up Snake Eyes. He's gifted 5 Curtis Shaw TV memberships. We're going to do a member stream next week, by the way. Champions League next week. Member stream. Rear tier. We're going to get it done. Big up to you, Snake Eyes. And big up to the new 5 members in the chat. Didn't Braithwaite wear Messi's shirt? Listen, numbers nowadays, they're taking it for joke, people. They're taking it for joke. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. Big up the Twitch gang as well. Hope you're well. Big up everyone on YouTube. C-Unit Business. Let's go. Happy Friday. Burnley tomorrow. 3 o'clock kickoff. Good old UK blackout, which means the game will not be televised in the UK. So VPN settings. Dot-alongs and all of that. We'll try our best to find it. 3 p.m. kickoff. I'll be live from 2 p.m. So we'll get the build up. Hopefully I can find it in America or somewhere and we can watch it. And it should be a comfortable 3 points. But you never know. You do never know. Ronaldo said you should do a music stream with Turkish. Listen, we're looking to really expand that show and take it in different directions, you know, because we got similar you know, interest with music and stuff like that, and obviously football. So yeah, man, maybe we'll have to do that on Twitch so we can play music and stuff like that. So big up to you, big up Turkish. We'll be doing the show again over the weekend, hopefully talking about a victory. Arteta gave a better answer to the Mbappe question this time. The Cone Man was disrespectful. He said, I can't talk about other players. When Sky Sports did it, you're all smiles and laughters. I'm not happy with that still. It's disrespectful, but we'll talk in America. Mikel, how's the recession taking you, Curtis? Yeah, listen, I feel like England's been in a recession for about 20 years, man. What's the difference? Did anything change yesterday from today? Do you know what I mean? I remember back in the day, I could go in a shop with £1. I could get, you know, as a kid, I would get a little drink. I might get a chocolate, so a little 20p mix. You could get the whole damn thing for £1. Now, for £1, you get Snickers. So I've been living in recession for a long time, my friend. It makes no difference to me. We just keep it moving. That's why I come on here and just start singing. I don't watch the news. I'm going to be honest. I'm in the car, the news comes on. I turn it off. They say to me in the car, how can we turn the news off? I say, you ever notice the news? The first story on the news will be depressing. I guarantee you. You put the news on today, the first story that comes up will be negative and depressing. They want people to feel down. Oh, no, it's all doom and gloom, recession. I don't worry about it. I come on here, I start singing. Happy Friday, keep it moving. Do you know what I mean? That's how we're moving, people. That's how we're moving. Even the Snickers is smaller, more expensive. Yo, recession's been wild for a long time. You go in the pound shop, they're selling things for £5. It's the pound shop. How the hell are you selling something for £5 in the pound shop? I don't worry about no recession, people. Stay away from the news, stay away from recession, and just sing and enjoy yourself, you know? But anyway, JCK said back then you could get a drink, sweets, and a chocolate and still leave with the pot. Exactly. You know what I mean? They're going mad out here. Anyway, let's just let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. You know, I don't want to go too much into all that propaganda, man. Let's focus on what's important. Listen, Mikel's been talking. We're going to do press conference reaction. I won't leave you without some waffle. But I'm starting with the main quote that everybody's running with in the press conference. Let me zoom in on that because that's probably not easy reading on there. This is what Mikel Arteta said about Kylian Mbappe. Oh, you want to answer them, right? Sky Sports tax. I hear it. I'm not happy about it though, Mikel, because I asked you this question 8 months ago. I never got this answer. But anyway, Mikel Arteta on the possibility of signing Kylian Mbappe. He said, when there is a player of that caliber, we always have to be in the conversation, but it looks a different way. Now, listen, I got to go full screen. I got to go full screen and take a sip. This is just Vimto, by the way, people. Nothing stronger. We need some red stripe! There's no one there, but I just love shouting that. It works. Ain't this all I asked for? This is all I wanted. Put Arsenal in the conversation. That's all I wanted. People messaging me on Twitter, we're not signing Mbappe. I know that. Of course I know that. We're not signing Kylian Mbappe. I wish we was. Banging that Young Jeezy Recession. Oh my God. What an album. I know we're not signing. If we sign Mbappe, we'll sign his brother. You know how this thing goes, people. We ain't signing Kylian Mbappe. We'll sign his brother. But I just want to be in the conversation. I want to be in the race. Why is it so stupid? People laughed when I said we need to sign Mbappe. They said, oh, I said, what? We left Highbury to come here, so why are we not in the conversation? Yeah, we'll sign Ethan Mbappe. Like Jude Bellingham will probably sign his brother. It's Arsenal. That's how we move. I just want to be in the conversation. That's all I want, Mikel. And you're talking that talk. When there is a player of that caliber, we always have to be in the conversation, but it looks a different way. Yeah, he's going Madrid. A la Madrid, I get it. Can you imagine? Let me tell you something. We've never won the Champions League in our entire history, by the way, right? Which is painful. You know, I still can't believe we don't have a star above the badge. But can you imagine? It's bad enough at the moment with this Manchester City team. Can you imagine a front three next season of Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe? And then you just drop Jude Bellingham in the 10 role. Oh my days. It's a cheat code. It's an actual cheat code. Like, it's Master League on Pro Evo back in the day. Like, how do you deal with that front four? And then you got Man City over there doing tiki-taka with Pep with 115 charges hanging over him. It's a madness. We got to win the Champions League this year because lock it off. Next 3 or 4 years, you ain't even getting near it. Galactico's back in full effect. Lock it off. You might as well finish third and go into the Europa League. It's a write-off. Cat D, head on. You've smashed it into the trees. That front four, cheat code. The only thing you can hope it doesn't have balance. And then you go into midfield and you're going to have Bellingham, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Valverde. That's if Modric and Toni Kroos, one of them or two of them might go. It's going to be crazy. So listen, I realise Arsenal are not signing Kylian Mbappe. We can dream, but all I've asked for is make sure we're in the conversation. Make sure we're in the race. He says we're in the conversation. We're in the conversation. That's all I want, people. That's all I want. So big up Mikel, big up Arsenal. Obviously, it's not going to happen, but maybe they made an inquiry. Maybe they made a phone call. Who knows, people? Who knows? But listen. It's nice to dream, right? Marcus, thank you for the members comment. He said, the fact we are in the conversation shows we are heading in the right direction. 18 months ago, we were getting blanked by Vlahovic. No disrespect to Vlahovic. Good striker. He wasn't even at Juventus. He was at Fiorentina. That brother's ignoring our calls. WhatsApp settings, 2 blue ticks with no reply. Not even typing back to us. Ignoring us. Like with some side dish coleslaw from KFC. Now, we're in conversations for Kylian Mbappe. Yeah, we're not signing him, but we're in the convo. They're linking us to him. They're having stories about it. That, for me, is a positive. The next step is don't be in the conversation. Be a front runner. That's the next step. But, time, I suppose. Canadian Gooner said, Arteta backtracked faster than AFTV's releasing that video with Partey's loyal. I mean, listen. He was always probably going to... I haven't seen the whole clip of what he said, but I saw a little bit of it, and he laughed it off a little bit. But listen, he spoke about it, and he said we're in the combo. Yeah, it's PR settings. They're playing the PR game. But, it's nice to hear that we're at least, we maybe had a look at it. It's one of them. Imagine a Camavinga and Rice midfield. Listen, I'm a massive... Camavinga and Tchouaméni. I'm actually really, really disappointed we didn't get one of them out of the French league. I know they said Tchouaméni was very close to going to Liverpool. I think Camavinga, we were interested in him. I know it's difficult. Soon as Real Madrid turn up at the party, everything's mash up, right? The glamour of Madrid, Hala Madrid, and the famous white jersey. You know, you ain't going to get many players out of Real Madrid's hands, are you? That's the problem. Shinobi said, yes, Curtis, big up as always. Can't wait for the next OG show. I think we're looking at Sunday night, me and Turkish. Look out for that. Lawrence says Tchouameni is serious. Him and Camavinga are a joke. Camavinga is an Arsenal fan. We've seen it so many times. Lewandowski, oh, my hero growing up was Thierry Henry, but somehow none of these guys end up in Arsenal shirts. Earl said Henry should absolutely convince him. End of. I mean, listen, he's too established. We had the opportunity when he was 17, when Wenger was in his front room negotiating with his dad. That was the opportunity to sign Kylian Mbappe. I don't think he could convince him to leave France at such a young age. He's a Parisian boy. He wanted to go to PSG from Monaco and sort of tick that box. So that was the time to get him, I'm afraid, you know. I don't know if people know, but when we signed Cesc Fabregas from Barcelona, we tried to sign PK Fabregas and Lionel Messi in a deal to get all three of them. PK went to Man United. He'd already been convinced to go there. Messi decided, because Barcelona had paid for his hormone injections and stuff to help him grow, he felt he owed Barcelona, you know, that loyalty to stay there. Can you imagine if we'd have got Lionel Messi? You know, another one on the list of, you know, if we can do it, you know, like Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo was at London Colney holding up an Arsenal shirt with Ronaldo on the back. And, you know, they came and got him. Man United paid more money. So fans were celebrating signing Lacazette over Mbappe. I remember that. Listen, I'll be honest, Nick. I was in that same desperation. Not that I wanted Lacazette over Mbappe, but when Lacazette signed, I'll be totally honest, right? I thought Lacazette was going to be like a star at Arsenal. I remember 2 or 3 years I was like, Arsenal need to sign Lacazette. He could be the French Ian Wright. He came to Arsenal, you know, he was the French Joel Linton. You know, I'm being disrespectful there. He wasn't as bad as Joel Linton, but he definitely didn't tick the boxes that I thought he was going to tick. I thought we had a real goal scorer. But yeah, Lacazette. Oh, do you know how many team of the seasons and player of the months Lacazette was getting on FIFA? I thought we were signing an absolute gunman. I was so hyped when we signed Lacazette. Yaya Toure played against Barnet for Arsenal in pre-season. Wenger played him up front and then didn't sign him. So you're playing the brother up front. Lacazette, disrespectful to Joel Linton. Is it discrimination, Big C? You ask, they laugh. Sky ask, they cheer. We know how the ting goes, people. We know how the ting goes. You know what I mean? You got to work twice as hard to get the same distance. No lies, people. If I was in there with a Sky Sports badge on, I'd have probably got a straightforward answer. But hey, it is what it is. We know the game. We signed Lacazette 2 years too late. Anyway, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he just wasn't made for the Prem, but it was a shame. I thought Lacazette was going to be a hit. We'll get into press conference reaction later on. A little bit of transfer news before we get going with press conference reaction. We look ahead to the Burnley game and so on and so forth. Nico Williams again being linked with Arsenal. I spoke about him a little bit the other day. We went into a little bit more detail. Rumour coming out of Spain. Arsenal are pressing to sign winger Nico Williams from Atletico Bilbao. Bilbao have a feeling that the player is going to leave them at the end of the season. Apparently, there's been a refusal to sign a new contract. Arsenal are pressing ahead to sign Nico Williams, according to reports coming out of Spain. Now, very interesting because I spoke about right wingers the other day, and I'm actually going to put a transfer show out speaking about positions on the pitch and maybe giving 5 or 6 options in each position. I said before, this for me is not the answer. And I haven't seen a lot of Nico Williams, but I've watched him a few times. He's very quick, he's raw, he's direct. He doesn't, well, at this point in his career, he hasn't scored that many goals. I've said for me, I would be going for Neto, or I would be going for Elise, or I would be going for Leroy Sané. Those 3 are certainly 3 I would put ahead of Nico Williams. Sané's on big wages. Might not be willing to come to Arsenal and compete with Saka. I think he would want guarantees, so that may be difficult. Neto, for me, is very exciting. Yeah, the injury concern's a bit of a problem, but I just think he's such an explosive, versatile player, a bit different to Saka. And I like Elise as well. The problem with Elise, Man United looking at him, Chelsea looking at him, he could probably go to those clubs and start right wing. So you can't maybe get all of those players. But I would not be signing Nico Williams ahead of certainly Pedro Neto. I think he's very gettable this summer. I mean, Beckley said he's ISO Speedy Wobie, which is never a good thing. Nico is also injury prone, said Yomi. I mean, I'm just looking at his stats, and you shouldn't just judge a player off stats, of course, you know. I always quite rated his brother, Inaki Williams, who's done well. But, I mean, I'm looking 20 appearances this season, 3 goals, 6 assists. Last season, 36 games, 6 goals, 4 assists. I mean, he's not tearing up trees in Spain. He has a 50 million release clause this summer. We know, Arteta's from the Basque region of Spain. Nico Williams obviously plays over there. Maybe there's a contact. I'm not convinced by this signing. I'm going to keep it 100. A lot of pace, which I like. I am a pace merchant, on FIFA or EAFC. I love the 90-plus pace players. I still might put a Hunter card on them, even though they don't need it. I am a pace merchant. But you give me Neto or Nico Williams for 50-odd million, I'm taking Neto every single day of the week. There is no shadow of a doubt. I am taking Neto over Nico Williams. I'm not convinced by this guy. He gives me the sort of Saint Maximum vibes that you're rapid, you're a live wire, but I don't know if you're going to become that top level player. I don't know. And you're right, Gunnar Greg, the problem you've got, any right winger that talks to Arsenal now, you're not stupid as a football player. If Arsenal come in for you now and you're a right winger, Saka's there. Saka's the main man in Arsenal's attack. He's the star boy, and a lot of players are not going to want to come to Arsenal and compete with Saka, even though competition is vital. Saka's playing ahead of Neto if Neto signs for Arsenal. So, I don't know. That may be the problem, that you can't convince a Neto and a Elise, a Sané to come to Arsenal. Because realistically, they could go to other clubs and start every week. So, it's interesting. Costa, you are right. Doku is not producing amazing numbers at Manchester City, but I think we can all agree he's a very exciting player, very direct. You look at last season, Jack Grealish got 5 goals. They won the treble. So sometimes your contribution can be different from goals and assists, and I do understand that. Doku this season, 2 Premier League goals in 15 games. Yet people are saying he's one of the most explosive wingers in the league, one of the most exciting. So, yeah, interesting. Don't want to write him off, because if he joins Arsenal shamelessly, you know what I'll be saying. I've always rated him. But I'll be honest, I'm not convinced. I think there are better options out there for 50, 60 million quid. And listen, there's also something that we have to bear in mind, is that Arsenal and Manchester City, we are not the same. Manchester City can get away with Jack Grealish scoring 5 Premier League goals in a season because the striker Erling Haaland scoring 35 goals. We don't have the luxury of a front man that's going to score 35 goals, so our wingers aren't going to get away with scoring 6 or 7 goals. We need our 2 wingers to get 15. We need our striker to get 15 plus. So the circumstances are a little bit different to us compared to Man City. I think Podence has fallen off. I think he's ended up in Olympiacos now. Gid said, yeah, Big C, you definitely ain't watched it. He's more like Dembele than Saint Maximum. I just meant in the sense that very quick, very direct, but not loads of end product. Exciting, but yeah. Nico Williams is the best both-footed winger I've seen since Dembele, said El Gramos. Haswan said Frankie de Jong and Ivan Toney, and we're done. I mean, I would love to sign those two. De Jong is on a massive wage, isn't he? Alexa said, Big C, would you take the risk with Neto given his injury record? Everything tells me no, because injury-prone players you shouldn't bring anywhere near Arsenal. So everything says we shouldn't sign Neto. But for some reason, the eye test just tells me I want us to sign it. I don't know why. And at the end of the day, we signed Thomas Partey, who was as far from injury-prone as possible. and he's one of the most injury-prone players at the club. So, I'm a big fan of Pedro Neto. I'm not gonna lie. Neto excites me. He does. I think he'd be a brilliant signing. Mod said, we need Diomande, Fofana, Wirtz, Neto, and Ivan Toney. Selly, SR, Nelson, and Ketia, Lakonga, Jorginho, El Neni, Cedric Tavares. Diomande, I think, would be an outstanding signing. That would then give us 3 top-quality centre-backs. Fofana all day long for 30, 40 million. Wirtz, I think he's on his way to Man City. Neto, I would sign. Ivan Toney, I would sign. So, yeah, I agree with nearly all of them. Red Smoke said 23... 23-2 for Neto, so he's a good age. Godnat said Neto's a baller, but we need a healthy squad. And I hear you, but then I look at it and I think Neto wouldn't play every week at Arsenal anyway, so maybe with less demand on him, maybe he wouldn't be as injury prone. He wouldn't play every week. So, and I said Martinelli plus Saka for Kylian Mbappe. Listen, I would do that. I'm sorry. That will upset people. I would do it. And I love Martinelli and Saka. If PSG came to me now and said, give us both of your wingers for Kylian Mbappe, yeah, that deal's happening if I'm the manager. I'm sorry. Like, I love Martinelli and Saka, but Kylian, yeah, clip it. Clip it as much as you want, mate. They're on the first flight to France. First class. They're getting there quick. Kylian, I'll work with Mbappe, Jesus, and Trossard. Yeah, it's done. Done deal. People saying clipped. I can't believe any of you would say no to that. That deal's happening within seconds. Straight to France. And I love both of them. There's levels. Star boy and then Ballon d'Or boy. Like, come on. I love both of them players, but let's keep it at 100, man. You're crazy. Oh, my God. Come on. People, seriously. Would you swap Mbappe for Saka and Martinelli? I'm doing it every single day of the week. Like, in my opinion, Mbappe is the best player in the world. I can live without that deal. That deal happened straight. I'll drive him to the airport. Unsubscribe, bro. Are there people actually saying no? I'm banging Trossard on one wing, Mbappe and Jesus. I'm keeping it moving. Kylian, are you mad? Bro, I'll sell the training ground for Kylian. They'll be training on Hackney Marshes. I'll move back into the Emirates and play, kick people out of the flats. I'll sell the training ground for Kylian Mbappe. Never mind our 2 wingers. I'd give them 17 of our players. I don't care about the wage demands. It's Kylian Mbappe. That's the rebirth of Thierry Henry. I got to put up a poll. This is why I love the community. Great question. You've set off a great debate there. I want to know the answer. I can't believe it's even a debate. Before you even finished the question, I was ordering an Uber on my phone. Go and take him to Heathrow. Get him out of it. Kylian. Oh, man. I want to put this up. There. First poll of the day. Would you swap Martinelli and Saka for Mbappe? Great question. There we go. That's going to cause a debate, but to me, it's no debate whatsoever, mate. Mbappe would be holding up that shirt before you can say bonjour. There we go. Good question, though. You started a good debate there. Listen, can you imagine Mbappe at this football? Yeah, Saliba, Rice, keep them out of it. The 2 wingers, on your bike, fella. On your bike. Curtis, are you losing it? What? You're saying no? I'm trying to see it from people's point of view, why you would say no. I can't see it. I like Martinelli, but, bro, how many times am I going to say lift your head up? And Saka, come on, bro. It's because you want to relive the Thierry days, Curtis Sentiment. Bro, Ballon d'Or, World Cup winner. He scored a hat-trick in the World Cup final. He's the best player in the world for me. It's not even a debate. Honestly, I'd sell the training ground with the 2 wingers. It's not sentiment, it's reality. You're giving me the best player on the planet. You know what I mean? No messing around, people. I ain't here for sentiment. Cutting your low stars for a circus diva. All right, fair enough. World Cup winner. It ain't a circus. He's the best player on the planet. You watched the World Cup final. I'm selling London Colney. They're training on Hackney Marshes next week, but Kylian's there. I'm the celebration. Anyway, it's a great debate though. It's a great debate. Paris said, can't lie, ain't doing that trade. We'll have to find another winger to replace Saka. We'll be destroyed. Don't worry about what. I don't want nobody. In this debate, by the way, don't worry about wage demands. I don't want people saying, oh, we can't sign Mbappe because of the wages. Bond the wages. Don't worry about the money. We're just talking straight player. I don't care how much money he's getting. Would you swap that player for those two players? Big C got people in their feelings like Drake. You know what I mean? Last time we spoke about Drake, I was in a car park in New York. I didn't actually make the car park, by the way. They laughed at Big C when he asked that question last summer. Now it's a legitimate rumour. These fans, bro, it's no debate. We can replace Saka and Martinelli, to be honest. Mbappe 100. We'll leave it there. It's a good debate. I'll leave it there for the next 15, 20 minutes, see where we end up. Yeah, they can train in Dubai and just eat gold steak. Don't worry about it. Anyway, let's focus on tomorrow. Arsenal against Burnley. Burnley. Saka is generational. Bro, if Saka's generational, what is Kylian Mbappe? Do you know what I mean? What are we doing here? What are we doing out here? Kylian and Saka, stop. What? The man scored a hat-trick in the World Cup. It's one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. Listen, we'll leave it there. Do you think Mbappe is better than Haaland? Yes, I do. Left wing, right wing, central, pace, goals, penalties, creates his own goals. Haaland's the best poacher in the world. Supreme movement. Put Haaland in a meaty team. He ain't going to look half the player. Haaland's an amazing goal scorer. Kylian is a better player. He's a better player. But anyway, listen, I'll be here for 3 hours if I get into this debate. It's a great question. We've set the chat off. Big up who asked that question, man. It's a really good debate. Right, let's concentrate on tomorrow. And that is Arsenal against Burnley, people. Listen, I don't like to look ahead of games. And I'm going to say what I'm thinking. Psychologically, we've won tomorrow. I can say it. Arteta can't say it. None of the players can say it because they'll look stupid. But I'm saying it. Psychologically, it's not, are we winning tomorrow? It's how much are we winning by tomorrow? I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I'm saying it. We need to smash Burnley tomorrow. Like I said, this ain't Burnley with Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood, you know, with Vaseline on their eyebrows, elbowing you, breaking your nose. This is a Burnley with Vincent Kompany that's trying to play tiki-taka, that's going to be relegated in the next 6 weeks. They are rubbish. I don't like to talk like this. I don't like doing this because if it ever goes wrong, you look hella stupid. But I'm saying it, all right? I've got the confidence to talk like this right now. Burnley are trash. I'm not going to go too far with it. In fact, I've probably already gone too far with it. Burnley have not won in their last 5 games. They've conceded 50 goals in 24 games. They've scored 25. They are the second lowest scorers in the league. They've got the second worst defence in the league. They are going to be relegated ASAP. They might as well go to the Championship now. This should be nothing to do with our Arsenal winning. This should be how many goals are Arsenal winning by. Now, I know I've gone a bit crazy there. And as I'm saying it, I'm already thinking, have I gone a little bit too far there? But listen, apart from something crazy like a red card or something stupid, Arsenal should be clipping the living daylights out of this Burnley team, right? I know, as soon as I said it, I said, damn, I've gone too far here, Anna. Burnley are trash, I'm not going too far with it. Listen, I'm in a good mood with Arsenal right now. I'm vibing, right? So I'm speaking with chest. They're getting smashed tomorrow. Burnley, not Burnley, Burnley. Crazy place. I've been there before, man. It was, it was an interesting... It was an interesting trip, but yeah, we did win that game when I went up there. But listen, we need to clip these lot up, I'm telling you. Just for the fact that Vincent Kompany apparently was the guy who convinced Mikel Arteta to sign Sambi Lokonga. I mean, if that's not worth a 4 or 5-0, then I don't know what is. You've gone too far, Biggs. You've gone too far. Gunnarola said, important for us to not get carried away with just pace and excitement. The elite level requires boring effectiveness at times, which is why Saka always starts. I said I'm more than happy for Saka to be not as exciting, but produce better numbers. Carlos said there is an argument that Mbappe is the most toxic player in the world. He will hold the club hostage and cause a horrible atmosphere. Listen, I heard from many people Thierry Henry was extremely difficult in the changing room. Very demanding, argued with players. Nobody cared. When he did the knee slide after running from his own half, who cared? Who cared? A lot of these best players have toxic elements. I heard Messi was bullying players. Not bullying, but very harsh on players at Barcelona. Nobody cared. Mbappe, come to Arsenal, score 30 goals, mate. I don't care. I don't care about the rest. But I hear you. Simon said, do we get the one for France or the PSG one? Well, that's the difference. You got to kind of put him in his place a little bit so you don't get that PSG attitude. Thermal said, bro, it's no debate. We can replace Saka and Martinelli. And then I've read the other one. Carl said, do you think Mbappe is better than Haaland? Which for me, no brainer, he's better than Haaland. Cody mystified, not as easy to replace, so would you also sell our centre-back pairing? I mean, listen, we're going into crazy territory here because the centre-backs would probably be more difficult to replace because the market for central defenders is so low at the moment. So that would really put you in a difficult situation. But yeah, Tomiyasu and Ben White at centre-back. Let's go. All-out attack. Listen, I don't know. Listen, of course not. I don't want to let the centre-backs go. But what I'm saying is he would be a game changer. Let's concentrate on Arsenal. Burnley, I think I've annihilated Burnley enough. Maybe a little bit too much. But I'm not going to get carried away tomorrow in the sense that I've said it before. And I say this openly to any Arsenal fan or probably a Liverpool fan as well in the title race. Don't put yourself through the agony, and I will call it agony. Don't put yourself through the agony of watching Manchester City games. Don't do it to yourself. I've realised the best thing to do is, I'm sure you've got a goal app on your phone or something. Check it at 90 minutes, casually, have a look. Oh, they won 2-0, keep it moving. Watching Manchester City games is like, it's painful. You start the game, you say, Man City are going to win. Why am I watching it? Then it's 0-0. Then they're struggling. You start to believe they're going to drop points. You start to get excited. Haaland scores. De Bruyne scores. They win the game. You realise they're never going to lose anyway. They were just teasing us. And then you feel disappointed again because you actually thought they were going to drop points, which was pretty stupid in the first place. So the best thing to do, don't go anywhere near them. Don't watch the game. Don't give yourself no false hope. Chelsea ain't doing nothing against Man City tomorrow. I'm staying well away from that game. I'm not doing it to myself. I'm sick of it. I did it last week against Everton. Started being stupid, thinking, oh, Calvert-Lewin's going to score a header and they're going to win 1-0. Haaland barges that brother to the floor and it's game over. I refuse to do it. I ain't watching no Man City games. Liverpool play Burnley early kickoff. Could be a tricky one. They've lost their last couple games at Burnley. Ivan Toney, I bet he'll be up for it. I shouldn't say the betting joke. It really isn't funny or appropriate considering, gambling is an illness. But, I'm sorry. I've got a wicked sense of humour. So I will be saying it. I bet Ivan Toney is looking forward to that game. He is a boyhood Liverpool fan. So let's hope Ivan Toney can do something against Liverpool in the 12:30 kickoff. Man City play Chelsea in the 5:30 kickoff. Arsenal are sandwiched in between against Burnley at 3 o'clock. So listen, it'll be interesting. Klopp's always moaning about 12:30 kickoffs, and they seem to always give him more 12:30 kickoffs. Big up Kabir, I hope you're well, bro. Thank you for the timestamps. Always puts the timestamps. Listen, it's a big week for Arsenal in general, not just because of the Burnley game. What I'm hoping against Burnley is that we win the game early and take people off, because the reality is we've got a massive 7 days. Craig David settings, people. Burnley, Porto and Newcastle in the next week. Burnley away, Porto away, Newcastle at home. Every game is massive for Arsenal at the moment. This next 7 days is huge because I'm going to be honest. I think Arsenal can have a really good run in the Champions League because I have watched a lot of teams in the Champions League this week and I haven't been that impressed with them. But I am going to say something. I'm not taking that Porto game lightly. I'm not, because Champions League and heritage, the heritage, as Mourinho would say, you cannot take that for granted. I am not looking at that Porto game as any kind of joke. I'm telling you now, they always, Porto are just one of them teams. They're always in and amongst the knockout stage. They're not actually having a great season. I was looking, Benfica are top, Sporting Lisbon are second, Porto are third. They're 7 points behind those two teams who are level on 52 points. So they're not as good as they have been, but you can never underestimate them. That is for sure. So it's a huge week. Craig David set in 7 days, people. Burnley went to training on Tuesday. Let me stop. I'm not going to do it. I was going to remix it, but the lyrics were going. The 12th man, 86, Big C, Mbappe would bring drama. He would also elevate this football club from top to bottom. Mate, we would go through the roof. He would go through the roof as well. Let's be real. PSG are big. They're not Arsenal big. Mbappe goes to Arsenal. He goes to a whole nother level, if he even can go to that level. But it would be huge. Can you imagine the hype around Arsenal? But we can dream, of course. Amara said Liverpool will draw tomorrow. I'll come back afterwards. The game 1-1. Mark my word, the Prem is ours. I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. The Cone Man said, you think Mbappe is bigger than me? I'll ban you. Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Look, I didn't even realise I'm wearing the Arsenal France, the Arsenal French connection, man. I'm telling you. Thierry brought this French connection to Arsenal. We have that draw, but, too late for Kylian, I think. We'll probably end up getting his brother. Big up Milan with the super sticker as well. Really appreciate that. Big up your damn self. 2,000 of you locked in. And happy Friday, man. We're vibes-ing. The mood is good. We're winning games. We're unbeaten in 2024. We're fighting for the title. Champions League this week. I'm so hyped about this Champions League game. I'm going to be a little bit nervous on Wednesday, but I am looking forward to it because this is what it's about, people. What I like about Arsenal at the moment is I feel like last season we fell out of the title race. The last 4 weeks of the season was just boring. It was over. We got knocked out of the Europa League and the season just fizzled out. It was so disappointing, to be that good for the majority of the season. And you ended the season with no with no real excitement or expectation at the end of the season. I'm hoping now we're in that title race right until the last week. I'm hoping we're in the latter stages of the Champions League. We all want that excitement. So, let's see. But it's a big, big week for Arsenal, man. We have to continue. I'm going to end the poll. Somebody said I've lost the poll. Am I going to be shell-shocked by what you guys have said? You're not swapping, are you? Let me get it up. 50, I can't believe it. People. The community's got C-unit business. 56% of you said no. You're keeping Martinelli and Saka for Kylian Mbappe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the French tax. Maybe I've gone too far. You've gone too far this time, Biggs. You've gone too far, man. Shot at settings, people. I mean, like I said, for me, Martinelli and Saka would have been at Heathrow Airport boarding a private jet to Paris. That's the reality of the situation. I'd be singing, I'd be speaking French. But hey, it is what it is. We stick with what we got. We live in the present, and we've got Martinelli and Saka. So yeah, if some of you are unsubscribed from the channel by tomorrow, don't be surprised. I'm gonna have to find out who that 56% of the stream was. I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was Vavavoom settings over here, but I don't know. 56% time out. Listen, I would have kept it moving. Jesus and Mbappe Trossard, but it's I'll leave you to it. Some of you may be unsubscribed by the morning. If you can't find the channel, then know that you've been placed in timeout. Anyway, let's move on, people. It's Friday. It's lunchtime. I hope you're peckish. It is time for waffle settings with the Cone Man himself, Mickey Roast, the boss. Coman music. He's taking us to the top, people. Coman music to the world and back. If we win the title or the Champions League, we're just going to throw cones all over the place. The Cone Man is back. Bottle of Prime and primed for action as we go to Burnley. Burnley. I'm pretty sure Vincent Kompany played for Man City when he was at Burnley. When he was at Man City, sorry. So this question, I could have told you this before we saw it. What's the latest team news, Mikel? We've got a training session today. We'll see how that goes. Oh, great. Thanks for that. We all knew that was going to happen. He ain't going to tell us a damn thing. If anyone's ruled out for tomorrow, no. Oh, great. Thanks for the team news. How important is it to use the squad in the right way? One of the worst questions I've ever heard in my life. I'm telling you, Pete, I told you, they called me crazy. They called me crazy. Why are you asking him about Kylian Mbappe, Curtis? That's what they said to me. Hey, yo, Curtis. I was in New York. Yo, Curtis. Why are you asking him about Mbappe? Sorry, it's not the greatest of New York accents, but you're with me on it. And now look, all over the place, Kylian Mbappe. Is it important to use the squad in the right way? Oh, no, you know what, mate? No, there's no point using the squad in the right way, is there? Most obvious question in the world, mate. Stupid question. Probably went university to ask that question. You might as well just roll in there like me, fresh off a YouTube channel. Yo, brother, Mbappe, yes or no? No? All right, cool, keep it moving. Oh, should you use the squad in the right way? Oh, yeah, I think I should. Oh, great, great. I can't believe he actually answered that long. Gave him a whole paragraph after that. Are any injuries longer than expected? He said, no, there are big setbacks as Thomas Partey's progressing well. I don't want to say too much. He's looking very good and he's on the field. How hard is it to keep momentum going? It's the most important part of the season. Every fixture is going to play a significant role. Burnley is the most important one. Skip it, waffle, waffle, syrup. I'm being involved in the title race. Yeah, we want to be there. We've done a lot of fighting this season. We've learned a lot of things. I'm skipping. I'm sorry. It's Friday. How we have got positive results with lots of goals. Working with the team on the strengths as well. Oh, God. It's just... Is he friends with Vincent Kompany? Nah, mate. I worked with him for 4 years, but I can't stand the bold Belgian fraud. He's not going to say that, really, is he? Friends, buddies? Well, we know each other really well. I have huge respect for him. Are you friends with Vincent Kompany, mate? You worked with him for 4 years. Just come off it. Come off it, please. I mean, what a waste of a question. On having the chance to win the first 5 games of the calendar year, there are moments and things that are motivating. The players are aware sometimes, or sometimes we're not even aware of certain things we've done or records. It's another extra thing. And if we had to pot the win against West Ham and move on quick, yeah, football friends, man. He said faster than defeat. The defeat is in the tummy for 48 hours. When you win the way we did, take the positive energy, carry on. It has to drive even better energy. He is true with that. I was always told that by a manager. If you win a game, move on from it quick. If you lose a game, it's probably going to hurt you a little bit more and a little bit longer until the next game turns up. Young Gunnar said, would you rather beat Man City away but lose to Spurs and United, or lose to City but draw with United and Spurs? Well, lose to City and draw with Spurs and United is an absolute... We're finished. We're done. I mean, both the options you've given me are pretty horrendous. I mean, you've got to take the first one. At least you clip City. But if you lose to Man U and Tottenham, the title race is done anyway. So you're asking me, it's a terrible question. I appreciate the question and the super chat, but either one ain't getting us nowhere. Any one of them answers, the title's over. So that's the best answer I could give you. Either one of them and we're finished. Anyway, let's move on. And if Burnley will click in the Premier League under Vincent Kompany, I wish this was Jim Carrey, Lyle, where he can't lie. He said it already started last season, what they did in the Championship. It was phenomenal, a record season. Bro, they're asking you about the Premier League. They haven't won in 5. They've got the second worst defence and the second worst attack. Ain't asking you about the Championship, bro. We know they were good in the Championship. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I need to prepare myself for this. They've asked him about Kai Havertz. Give me a second. I'm taking a sip before I even read the answer. I knew they'd do this. Oh, no. Look, I've just seen the first. On Kai Havertz's performances in recent weeks, he says, I love him. I love him. I think we all love him as a player, as a person. Everything that he brings to the team. Need some more red stripe! Oh, dear. We all love him. Oh, God. Donkey Kong. Donkey Kai. They should have said to him, do you know that Kai Havertz nicknames himself the Donkey? I would have loved that. That's a priceless question. If I get in the press conference in America, that might have to be the question. I might not get back in one again, but it's a fact. He said his nickname's a Donkey. He says, I love him. I love him. I think we all love him as a player, as a person, everything he brings to the team. There are 2 or 3 moments the other day with 4, 5, 6-0 and how he tracks people and how he's defending the box, then how he's attacking the box. The position he's constantly threatening in the opponent's box as well that I really like. You ask him to play as a 9, a right midfielder, left attacking on the base of defending. He does it. He's just a joy to work with. I mean, you're right. You know, Valentine's Day, love is in the air. Da, 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 da. I mean, God, he's adopted him, and he really has. He's now officially Eddie Nketiah's older brother. Like, in fact, is he even older than him? They're about the same age. The way he invades that space, people, I mean, you ain't seen nothing like that since pickled onion, barbecue, spicy beef, and various other crisps that are available. Used to be about 10p. I think they're about 30p now. I mean, look, we won 6-0. He didn't score and get an assist. I know it's not all about numbers, but yeah, I mean, he loves him. He loves him. He absolutely loves him. Still trying to figure out why, but hey, we'll keep it moving. If we win the league, shamelessly, I'll agree and say I've always rated him. On David Raya being settled in the team, what I like about David as well is what he does in goal, the things he prevents us from, you don't even see because they don't happen, because he has anticipated them. But yeah, obviously he had the environment that was challenging. That's what I love about him. The players with the courage and character and personality, when even it is like this, they want to be themselves, push themselves. He has earned the right to be respected, and I'm really happy that he's winning. On Mbappe saying he will leave PSG. When there is a player of that caliber, we always have to be in the conversation. But as you said, it looks like it will go a different way. I mean, I hate to say I told you so, but damn, I told you so. We could have been here 6 months ago, but you didn't listen. We was in America. Maybe you had heat stroke. That New Jersey, you know, humid air at the stadium, New York. You didn't want to listen. Told you we should be in the conversation. They all laughed at me. When I said Mbappe, you all laughed at me. Well, you're not laughing now, are you? Well, I think that's the meme, innit? But yeah, he's still going Real Madrid anyway, so no point hyping. On what we've learnt from last season at the business end, what I said is the most important impact of last season is to have the squad available. For me, that's requirement number 1. At the moment, we don't have it. We're going to have it. We're working hard to get there. No, we're working hard to have it. This is the requirement number 1, 2, 3, and 4. If we don't have that 1, it's going to be difficult. I think we have a chance, a good chance. And if we can't win the title if the whole squad isn't fit, he said, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's more difficult. I mean, it's obvious. On if it's more difficult to play a team in a relegation battle, he said, you have to see the recent games. They went to Anfield, what they did, and how Liverpool beat them, and it's going to be at home. I mean, I don't want to hear them excuses, mate. I ain't interested in that. They're trash. Smash them. Get out of there. Simple as that. They didn't exactly pull up trees at Liverpool, mate. They put up a good fight and ended up losing 3-1. It wasn't no miracle. They put up a bit of fight. That was it. They lost 3-1. So I don't want to hear no excuses. And if the manager has to stick to his principles despite results, he said, I don't know. Everybody has to feel. I think if you don't feel what you are doing, it's impossible to transmit. We have an idea and the players have to bind it and they have to execute it. When you don't feel it, I don't know how you transmit it. Maybe for a game in a period of time, I guess they lose it and then you lose them. On Raya preventing things we don't see, I mean, he just said that in his answer. So now you're asking a question that he's already said. Have a look at the game. I'm not going to tell you. There you go. Go and watch the game, you fraud. I'm not going to tell you. On his speed of distribution, there are opportunities in the match. You can play fast. The door is open. I'm not reading it all. If he has been able to field the team he's wanted this season, he said, yeah, it's a great opportunity to adapt certain players in certain areas. Yeah, transmit. He loves a bit of transmit. Let's get through it. This is a long one. You'll be asleep by the time this finishes. On Roy Hodgson being taken ill. Get well soon, Roy. I think they've sacked him while he's in hospital. I mean, that is brutal, but I think Roy needs to retire. He said, I don't know the exact details. Hopefully he's feeling much better, and if that's the case, knowing Roy, I think he will be in tomorrow because he loves it so much. But yeah, we all got really worried with the situation, and hopefully he's signed. Hopefully he's fine, Get well soon, Roy. On the stresses of a manager, he said, that is the part, but there is a part of joy and how beautiful our jobs are. And having the strength and depth to go for the Champions League and Prem, he said, I don't know. On Fabio Vieira's fitness, he said he's very close. He's been training already for a few days. I think it's very close. He'll probably be back faster than we expected, and he's in a good place. I was just going to say briefly on Fabio Vieira. Fabio Vieira's career at Arsenal is very much in the balance, in my opinion. We're now over 18 months into his Arsenal career, and we've seen so little of him to make a real judgment on him. I've always said I actually think Fabio Vieira has talent. He's struggling to produce it in the Premier League. One Premier League goal last season, one this season, 30 games in the Prem, only 9 starts. I mean, it's been a disaster so far for 35 million. But in the Champions League, could he offer us something? The problem you've got is, how does he get into the team? Because Odegaard's going to play, and he's going to force Havertz into the team because obviously he paid big money for him. He's got to justify him. So is he going to get the game time to even prove that there's a player there? I personally think in the summer, there is, if you got a good offer for Fabio Vieira, I would consider getting rid of him, depending on what he does between now and the end of the season. But at the moment, he hasn't proved himself. 35 million. I need to see more, bro. I need to see a lot more. Maddison cost 35 million, you know. Highly wanted criminal said Ray was sacked in his sleep. The game is cold. Football, man, it don't wait for no one, bro. Don't wait for no one. And if he could play against Porto, he said there is a chance, yes. Obviously, his former club, he'll be motivated. He'll want to perform. On his coaching staff being linked to managerial jobs. Oh, it's finally over, this press conference. So yeah, that's great what has happened, not only with the coaching staff, also certain staff that other clubs are trying to get them, which is always a really good sign. They're doing a good job, and we have the right people. Carlos Cuesta being linked with the Norwich job. Finally, before we round up, big up to everyone locked in. Over 2,000 of you locked in. David said, I'm flying to Porto tomorrow. Hope to see a great game on Wednesday. If you see a short, bold black, a bit nervous in the Porto stand, that's me. Hey, be careful, man. Don't celebrate too much if Arsenal score. Tom said, Curtis, you are too brutal. Hey, listen, that's what we're about, people. Information and entertainment. That's what we're here for. Why ain't Arteta linked with other clubs? I mean, there was linking him with Barcelona, so, you know, we'll let him off. He was linked with PSG. Carlos Cuesta is 28, youngest manager ever. Listen, fair play to him. I hope he doesn't go, because apparently he's a very good coach, and we'd rather keep good coaches at the club. But if he gets offered the Norwich job, I'm pretty sure he would take it. How do we line up? People? 10 of the 11 that played against West Ham would start. I would only make one change. Considering we won 6-0, some people would say it's harsh to even make one change. But we're in a title race. I'm not here for sympathy and stuff like that. I'm not interested. We have to win at all costs. The one change for me comes at left back. I thought Kivior did okay. Did well to keep Mohamed Kudus quiet. He still made me nervous on the ball. I would bring Tomiyasu in at left back. That would be my only change for this game against Burnley. Listen, if Tomiyasu's available, then why would I not play him ahead of Kivior? Kivior is still somebody that I view as a weakness, especially at left back. It's not his natural position. Tomiyasu is a brilliant fullback. He's got height as well. Burnley, I mean, they're not as direct as they were under Sean Dyche, but they've still got height in there. So that, for me, would be the Arsenal team. David Raya in goal. Back four, Ben White at right back. Tomiyasu at left back. Gabriel and Saliba. Rice, Odegaard, Havertz. I was tempted to go Jorginho, but I think he's going to go with Havertz, and then Martinelli, Trossard, Saka is the front three. Yeah, the only other one I would consider is Jorginho for Havertz. I would potentially not be against that. Ben White isn't suspended. 5th yellow card. After the 19th game of the season, it's 10 yellow cards for a suspension, not 5. So, yeah, I would be tempted to play Jorginho and let Rice get forward a little bit more, but I don't know if he's fit. He wasn't fully fit last week. I mean, Saka's older brother said Kivior did good, but Kivior doing good is not as good as what Tomiyasu can produce. He's a far better player. CW said, Big C, my dad, a gooner for 70 years, just asked, if Arteta is on the red stripe. I mean, some of his management has resembled a drunk man at times. Hopefully he's sober now. Give Kivior a chance. Not for me. Not for me. Listen, he's a centre-back. He's a centre-back, man. Why play a centre-back at left-back who's not as good as the full-back that you've got available? The reason I would probably go Havertz, even though it always upsets me to have him in the team, I want us to score goals. And, I mean, Zach said, thing is, Curtis, we can play Havertz. We're going to control possession. We might need the extra man in the box. What he does well, this is crazy, by the way, but no, listen, I haven't got no agenda against him. Let me give him some credit. What Havertz is good at, and there ain't a lot, is, being a donkey. I'm joking, although he said his nickname is Donkey, so Donkey. What he's good at, I would say Havertz is a very good distraction. Which ain't a lot for 65 million. I mean, distraction tactics. It's crazy. It's like being in school and asking your mate to throw a paper airplane to distract the teacher while you do something else over the other side. I mean, it ain't a lot really, is it, for 65 million? Be a nuisance and invade some space. But what he is good at is he can get in the penalty area and pull people out the way to create space for Trossards and Martinellis and Saka. I know. I am clutching at straws for 65 million. All I can give you is nuisance value. But that's all I've got. I've got nothing left, people. Nuisance value, I said he's like a mosquito in a hotel room on holiday. He's going to annoy you. And that's all he can do at the moment. He's going to annoy people. I've got nothing else to give you. I was really going to try and big him up then. But as I was trying to think about things, I ran out very quickly. So I think he does make good runs into the area, and I think it does give people like Trossard a little bit more space. And what it does, when Havertz runs forward, Trossard can drop into areas. And do you know what? I was going to really try and spend 2 or 3 minutes there bigging up Havertz. I ran out of things after about 5 seconds. I was really going to try and cap for him, but I can't. I genuinely can't. So, yeah, it's Ian Beale. I've got nothing left. I don't know. He makes good runs into the area, but he ain't really getting on the end of anything. But that's all I've got for you. Nuisance value. We really paid 65 million for a shape-shifting mosquito. Yeah, we did, basically. We signed a Mozza for 65 million, a mosquito, mate. I got nothing else. He can score penalties when given for sympathy. Let me look at his actual stats. I know it's not all about stats, but what's he dealing with? 4 goals, 1 assist in 23 games. I mean, he's got more yellow cards than goals or assists. He's got 6 yellow cards. He's got 1 goal in the Champions League. What did he do for Chelsea last year? 7 goals, 1 assist. Yeah, I mean, he's never really produced numbers in this country, has he? Best ever season in Germany. He got 17 goals, 3 assists. At Chelsea, he got 7, 8 and 4. So he's never even hit double figures in the Prem. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go down that road, but we should have never signed the guy in the first place. But we are where we are. I'm here clutching at straws, trying to justify why we should play him. Let's finish with a final poll. Final poll of the day, finishing in a few minutes. Who would you play at left back? Because some people are saying in the chat I'm being harsh on Kivior. Listen, I'm here to win titles. Ruthless settings, people. Who would you start at left back tomorrow? I'm assuming Zinchenko's out, right? Because at the moment, we haven't heard nothing. So I'm only going off what we've seen. Tomiyasu or Kivior, right? That's all I'm here for. I'm playing Tomiyasu. And I don't want to sway the audience. Go with what you feel. But I'm going Tomiyasu. He's a better left-back, in my opinion. But that's a good point. Jason said I'd keep Tomiyasu fit for Porto. That's another good point. That is a good point. Maybe he's not fully fit. Do you save him for Wednesday, which will maybe be a tougher game? But at left-back, I'm playing Tommy, man. Kivior still makes me nervous. You know, although Prime Henri said lockdown Kudus, and if Saka could head, he would have had a couple assists. That's a good point. Imagine Tommy gets injured. As long as Benny Blanco inverts, I don't care. The Kiwi is ripe. Is the Kiwi finally ripe? Do I have to give him some credit? Curtis, you have an agenda against Havertz. I don't, my friend. I just need to see a lot more than I'm watching at the moment. Tomiyasu for sure, said Saliba. Matt says Tommy. And Keros said this should 100% beat Tommy. Yeah, listen, it's interesting. I'll leave that on there for a few minutes, getting some of your comments. Obviously, big game, a game we have to win, a game we should win with the fixtures that are going on this weekend. Are the other two sides going to drop points? Liverpool go to Brentford early, kick off Ivan Toney. Can they do something? Man City host Chelsea. I've actually got more hope in Brentford taking points off Liverpool than I have Chelsea taking points off Man City, because I just don't see Chelsea going to the Etihad and doing anything. The only glimmer of hope is the fact that Chelsea and Man City drew at Stamford Bridge earlier in the season. Goal difference, very important. We're level with Man City on goal difference and on points. 2 points behind Liverpool, although Man City do have a game in hand, and we're only 1 goal behind Liverpool. It'd be great if by the end of this weekend, we've got the best goal difference in the Premier League. We currently have the best defensive record in the Premier League now. 22 goals conceded in 24 games, which is outstanding. 53 goals scored, the third highest in the league now. Which is great to see. If we win tomorrow, that'll be 5 wins out of 5, which is a good run of form, but it needs to continue. And as I said, massive 7 days for Arsenal. Burnley away tomorrow. We then play Porto in the Champions League away on Wednesday. That's a big game. And then Newcastle at home next Saturday, which is a tricky game. You know, I think we drew with them last season. So, big week for the Arsenal, and we're going to need to get, I would say 3 wins out of 3. Big up Brendan O'Connor, new member. Really appreciate it, bro. Look out for the member stream next week. Big up to all the new members. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. 2,000 of you in the chat. Big up the Twitch gang as well. 44 of you on Twitch. Highly wanted. Havertz at left back wouldn't hurt. It's only Burnley. I think that's taking it a bit too far. I know he played there for Germany. But I don't know if we want to be doing that. Do you think Dyche misses Turf Moor? I mean, listen, there's nothing you can tell me about Turf Moor. I mean, I've ate the pitch. I mean, literally ate the pitch. I've chewed on the grass. I've headbutted the goalposts. I built that club. No one had ever heard of Burnley until, the ginger genius Sean Dyche turned up. But Vincent Kompany, mate, you're trying to play tiki-taka. It's never going to happen. You're never going to stay up. And if they truly want quality football, they'll get this ginger genius back. Anyway, I'm off to drink some petrol and nibble some glass before, this stream finishes. So there we go, people. There we go. Anyway, we'll end on that note. Sean Dyche, people. Listen, thank you very much for tuning in. Great interaction as always. I'm going to end that poll quickly. I wanted to leave it there for a little bit longer, but obviously we're about to round up the stream, so I will round up. I will round up now. The question was, who would you play at left back tomorrow against Burnley, Tomiyasu or Kivior? I was leaning towards Tomiyasu purely just for the fact I think he's a better left back, and I would rather play the guy who's better than, But Kivior did do all right last week, so maybe I'm doing him a disservice by saying I would play Tomiyasu. Why is it not giving me the results? It's saying, right, let me end the poll and see if it brings them up. Right, 73% of you say Tomiyasu, 27% say Kivior. Is the Kiwi ripe? I suppose we'll find out. The great debate we had today Big up to the guy who asked the question. Apologies, I haven't seen the name. I'll go back and look. But the question was, would you swap Martinelli and Saka for Kylian Mbappe? I said they'd be at Heathrow on a flight to Paris. And Mbappe would be coming to Arsenal. But 56% of the community said they wouldn't take the deal. That they would have been in France before you could have said bonjour, monsieur. But that's just my opinion. I'm a lot more harsh. If you're watching this on playback, get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Big up to everyone locked in. Really appreciate it. I'll be back 2 p.m. tomorrow. Burnley against Arsenal. Watch along. Looking forward to it. Hopefully we go 3-point collecting. Let's hope Burnley can do something against Liverpool. And maybe Chelsea can do something against Man City. Take care, everyone. Enjoy your Friday, and I will see you all for the watch along tomorrow, people. Bless.